Hey everyone, I'm Andrew Reiner. This is Game Informer's Test Chamber. We're taking a look at Saints Row Gat Out of Hell. Playing the game is newcomer Brian Shea.
Hello.
Don't mess this up, dude. This is your one shot. And Joe Juba's here.
Yeah, you're already messing it up. New game.
Hit the freaking button. Let's go.
Now, what do we want to do here? Do we want to do casual, normal, hardcore?
It's up to you, man.
Normal.
Oh, not a good choice.
Oh, man.
Wade Wojcik's also here in the
I
control
would have
room.
sprung for hardcore, personally, but I'm not playing, so I can't put my money where my mouth is.
We're on a new set here, a new set for replay.
We are.
Season 3 and Test Chamber and all that fun stuff. It's well lit, maybe a little too bright. You can't see this, but we're basking in the sunlight. And so this is Gat Out of Hell. It is not an expansion. It's kind of a standalone adventure that kind of piggybacks some of the gameplay from Saints Row 4.
I mean, they are calling it an expansion.
Well,
but it's a standalone.
Yeah, you don't need Saints Row 4. You could play this on your own.
I think what they're trying to do is differentiate from the idea that like this is its own full-featured Saints Row game, which it's not, right? I mean, you did the review.
You go to a whole new city, you play as a whole new character, and it's a whole new story. So it is kind of a sequel of sorts. It's just shorter.
Yeah, in terms of like scope and ambition, it's a little bit smaller.
It's kind of in the same scope as that the Infamous releases that they put out the deal.
Yeah, like First Light, I think.
All right. So we've got. Sorry to interrupt, Reiner, but I was noticing that this is the default president.
Correct.
But I think if you have the Saints Row re-elected, like the next gen version of this, it will import your
president
into it. Okay.
And he or she plays a very small role, as you'll find out here shortly. But spoiler alert: if you haven't played Saints Row 4, it ends with Earth being destroyed. And the Saints here are Wade. The Saints here are in outer space, like on a little space station or something.
It doesn't even end with Earth being destroyed. Like Earth is destroyed a quarter of the way into the game.
Right, and it's mostly in VR.
Yeah,
VR version of Steelport. So they're celebrating a birthday. There's Jane Austen for some reason.
Yeah, she's the one who's narrating those sort of like storybook sequences that we saw, I think.
And here's where it all goes south for the Saints here.
Yeah. So this is pretty much all that's left of humanity is aboard the Saints Row ship.
Right.
Okay. Some shining examples of human beings here on this ship.
Ouija boards.
Wait, what did you call them?
A Ouija board.
A Ouija board?
Ouija.
Oh, okay.
Ouija.
It sounds like
Waluigi board.
Waluigi.
Oh boy.
Did they just like resurrect Satan there? Or?
They opened a hellmouth.
Ooh.
Is that not normal?
So the president's gone.
Where'd you get the board? I was going through Signac's artifact collection and found it there. Who did it belong to? Alistair Crowley?
Guys, I think it's laughing at us.
Oh.
You're a smart enough piece of wood to see where this is going.
You showed
Okay,
that board.
so Johnny Gat
Is the best.
is awesome. He was thought dead in Saints Row the Third.
Correct.
So what's the plan?
And then in the fourth game, you actually like get him back from hell.
Correct.
Now, if I'm remembering correctly, the reason why, or not from hell, from the aliens.
From the alien
From Zinyak.
invasion.
Yeah. The reason being the aliens were already planning their invasion in Saints Row 3, and they kidnapped Johnny Gat beforehand because they thought that he was the only person like crazy and dangerous enough to stop them the first time through.
Right.
Okay. That's the in-universe, if you're really into Saints Row lore.
Like Joe Juba is.
Like me, yeah.
Historian of Saints Row.
Crazy.
The phrase Saints Row lore really, really strikes me as funny.
It is fun, though, and this series has gone further than you see most game series go. Like, I mean, they started out as kind of a serious, somewhat seriously toned, gang warfare type of game.
Yeah, that first game was really straight-faced in terms of its like trying to be a GTA style.
Right. They had some
world.
crazy jokes, a lot of innuendo in the banners and all this stuff, just like GTA. Maybe a little bit more wacky in that capacity, but from 2 where you're spraying poop and all that stuff to 3 going absolutely nuts, and then 4 to levels of Earth being destroyed. I mean, they didn't have much left other than to go to the afterlife, or as I said in my review, like time travel they could probably do. But I mean, this is like the end for the Saints. You have to imagine like they can't continue the storyline unless they retcon it or do something absolutely absurd with it.
Right. And well, but then again, that's what I thought after Saints Row 4, and then this happened. So they you never know what they can do with it, I guess.
All right, so
Now,
not going the right way, I would imagine.
There you go.
There we go. Steal a car.
so actually, turn around quick. There's a billboard that's interesting. Where was that? Go up a little bit. Dang it! I saw a billboard for Ultor.
Yeah.
I did
Where
see
was
that.
Yeah, Ultor's down here actually.
Well, there's a building that says Ultor.
Okay. Well, they had a picture with the. I mean, that dude was basically the villain in Saints Row 2, right?
The gray-haired guy
Yeah.
or
What's-
blonde-haired guy.
The blonde-haired guy.
Oh, yeah, you'll see him very shortly.
Okay. And he's voiced by Jay Moore, right?
I believe so. And he plays a large role in this.
Okay.
What is happening?
Because I remember I went out to Volition to check this out back I don't know, at some point this fall or summer, and they're using Hell. I thought it was interesting because they were talking about using Hell as a way to bring in a lot of like old Saints Row characters. The idea being that most of the people in this universe are pretty terrible and have probably ended up in Hell anyway. Like the dude who's in charge of Ultor. Who's that character who like never was it from the first game who like never got his comeuppance? Is it Dex or Dax or something like that?
He's in this.
Yeah.
Dax, I believe.
Oh boy, I just barrel rolled.
Shea? What the hell is going on here?
So I guess you don't have.
You said you were a
water.
big Saints Row fan. Like when I was playing, you were like, "Oh, one of my favorites."
I'm assuming I can't steal a motor. Well, I guess I can because
also there's like
Kinsey.
there's just a desiccated husk driving a motorcycle, which I think is pretty great.
Bring up your map. You need to. It keeps telling you to access your map, and
Oh,
you're
Jesus.
ignoring it. Okay, hit the button. There you go.
All right, there we go.
So now looking at the map, it looks like it's a bit smaller than like Steelport was.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, that's Steelport. Yes, Stillwater is questionable. The
Okay.
2 versions of Stillwater or whatever. I would say maybe it's around the same size, since those weren't the biggest cities to begin with.
Yeah.
But there's like 5 districts here, and you'll get to play as Kinsey as well. Right now we're Johnny Gat, but all the districts are pretty distinct. It's got a lot of fire and brimstone, as you can see, lava kind of everywhere.
What's Kinsey doing here? Oh, there
There
she
we go.
goes. Somehow that worked.
A little Assassin's
Jesus.
Creed action by Kinsey there. And away we go.
A pirate ship.
Now,
Brian Shea, the arrow was telling you to go in there.
I saw that. I didn't know the monster truck was going to fit in there.
I'm like seconds away from taking that controller.
if only the game were a little more explicit about what direction you were supposed to
I
be going.
know.
Oh man, this is like Austin Powers.
Oh, it's the cops. How did cops make it?
Now, Reiner, you said you reviewed this. What'd you give it?
I don't know. No, 7.5, I believe. It's fun. It's got the humor of Saints Row. It doesn't have the complexity of Saints Row, though.
Okay.
Obviously the world looks very cool. They thought about it. For flight, that's a big thing that you're going to get.
Oh, no.
Oh man! If Brian can actually get to the first, we're not even to the first objective, and we're struggling.
I ran over something.
Good thing we went with normal and not hardcore.
No kidding.
But flight is very cool in this game. It feels great. I'm sure Brian will handle that quite well, seeing how good he's driving a car. There's no missions really, and Johnny Gat even makes fun of that in the game, where you go talk to like Shakespeare or Vlad the Impaler, and you feel like there's going to be a big setup, and then it's like you just kind of do these little shooting gallery things. You do loyalty missions for them.
He just drove right
And that's
into
pretty
me.
much it. And then you battle the devil, and the game's kind of over. But along that way, there's some really great story moments that are fully animated. You saw the storybook thing at the beginning. It's all kind of told through that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll just see a still image. Other times that still image will give way to an actual cutscene. But it is fun. If you're a Saints Row fan, I highly recommend you do see this through. I think it's $20 a standalone, as a standalone game. There you go. There's the Ultor guy.
Shouldn't you have a receptionist?
Such is the plight of eternal damnation. I have a feeling you didn't come here to catch up. Let's talk in my office.
But activities and diversions, kind of the best part of the Saints Row games, the last couple, are in great abundance, and they're still pretty fun. But they are repeated from Saints Row 4.
And now, we might not get to it in this test chamber, but there's sort of like a musical number that shows up at some point too, right?
There is a Disney-inspired, like straight out of like Frozen type of.
What's it called?
I don't know. They don't name these things.
Yeah, I don't think it has a name, but I mean, like, you should definitely check it out because I know I saw an early version of it when I was at the studio, like I said, and it definitely has that like sweeping. Like, it's like a montage of different styles of Disney musical numbers.
So it's not just like a sing-along with a popular song like it was in the 3rd and 4?
No,
Right.
it
Yeah,
is
no,
like straight up like they're expressing their feelings through song.
Yeah.
And all the characters are singing along.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what our Super Replay Showdown should be. A sing-along to that.
I like the idea of this.
Natural that Satan would want them to marry his daughter.
Only natural.
They needed a plan, and Johnny had one.
So what's kind of interesting is when you see the president again in this, they have him completely hidden, like he's in a crystal tube or something, so you can't see what he looks like, which makes the beginning of the game kind of strange. Like, were they thinking about like just not having him be shown?
Then you'll shoot him in the face.
Huh.
Sorry, but it's a little more complicated than that. These things are tied to the soul. You won't be able to end.
So the premise here then is that the reason the boss of the Saints was kidnapped is because they are responsible for so much death and destruction that they're the only person who's appropriate for the devil's daughter, right?
Correct, but you're going to kill the devil now.
Okay.
To attack Johnny personally. Either the devil kills Gat and Ultor gets the construction contract.
So there you go.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Johnny kills Satan.
Johnny kills Satan, and I'll have to pay less taxes. It's pretty win-win.
That's why you're helping us? To make more money in hell?
Hell's what you make of it, sweetie.
Works for me.
Johnny, master negotiator.
He is so good.
All right.
Satan had entrusted the day-to-day running of hell to 5 archdukes.
And if you just
and
play the
they
critical
knew
path,
to find them all.
you
But
can complete it in a
beyond
couple
that,
hours.
not everyone in
It's
Hell was
not
content
long at
go
all.
along with Satan's
And
satisfaction. There were others who
but
shared
you
Dane's
probably
ambition
want
for
to
power,
level
and
up your
the old
weapons
homo
and
knew the
do
key
some of the
to
side stuff to level your
Satan
weapons
lay
and
in
your
gaining
character
their
itself.
But before Johnny
So you said a lot of the
set
side
out
stuff was
to
kind
war
of
against the
taken
Prince
from
of
Saints Row
Darkness,
4, though.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, even
Dane
your powers, you have the stomp, which is the same. The freeze ray is now stone, but it's the same thing. One of the new things they give you is you're getting it here is flight, but then you also have minions you can stick on guys. The aura thing's back too, where you can freeze enemies just by kind of running by them. So there's a lot of it is taken from 4, which makes sense. As you know, as Joe pointed out, it is kind of there is some connected tissue there.
It's a standalone expansion, I would call it.
Right.
Yeah.
Standalone expansion. We'll compromise on that. Completely separate connection.
All right, now that's a little disappointing. Like, I like the storybook vibe and everything, but the fact that like you get Lucifer's cracked halo and wings, and that's just sort of taken care of in like a few still panels, and now your arm's all weird. And, like, that could have been a cool like story moment,
Like a
and that-
He-Man moment, right?
Yeah, exactly.
By the power of Grayskull.
Well, especially since one of the things this series does so well is that sort of like, those sort of crazy, jaw-dropping, ridiculous moments. Mm-hmm. It feels sort of weird to just kind of offload them to these like interstitial frames.
It seems like a way that they can kind of get out of making cutscenes.
Yeah.
You need to
I
buy
like
stuff.
I like the approach, but
Okay, so Reiner, now that we have flight, because so we drove a monster truck. Are we ever going to want to drive a vehicle again in this game?
No. There are activities that you can do in the vehicles, like Rambulance is one of them, where if you just find an ambulance sitting around, it's not a actual like set activity, but if you find one and you get in it, it kind of has this progressive system where it tracks how many people you're running over. Mm-hmm. So you're not saving people, you're running them down.
Okay.
So there is some of that stuff, but yeah, most of it is you can't beat flight. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like sprinting in the last game.
Don't worry. If something looks too high, just keep on jumping off the wall.
There we
There we
go.
go.
Charge. Now it's time to fly. You heard of crawling before walking?
And there are ring
Well, in this
flight
case,
challenges.
Okay, so you have to tap A.
Launch yourself in the air with a
Oh, well, I'm
jump,
sure I can-
and then
Cool.
Hold your wings out to glide to that next
There you
island.
go.
Oh,
What are you
geez.
doing?
I thought he just.
He said to hold your wings to fly, and you just let go.
No, my issue was I was pushing forward, so.
You blew it, dude. You might as
Wait,
well just fall.
Did I? Did I?
You totally
oh, yeah.
blew it.
Reiner, would you say he let it go?
He did.
Oh.
Wait, that's not
See, that
great.
my issue is I was pushing forward on the pad, and that apparently just puts you straight into the ground.
I liked it, Wade.
Thanks, Joe.
Let the wings do
So
the
I
work.
think the wings kind of have a bit of like a Super Mario World cape vibe to them, right? Like
A little bit, yeah. As you level them up, though, they do become like you hit A to flap, and you could say stay in the air pretty much as long as you want.
Okay.
But that's when you really do go out of your way to get orbs, which you'll see in a second if Brian can get through the tutorial.
So wait, hold X to reduce momentum.
Brian, don't feel bad. Like Reiner's thing is trying to make himself feel better by making other people feel bad.
Dude, this has nothing to do with me. You are all witnessing what we're seeing here.
I put a shiny flap orb out in front of you. Collect the orb, and your wings will flap to gain
Oh boy, I'm like clenching the desk. I'm nervous about this.
Nah, he'll make it.
All right, so. Is it to fly?
Yep.
Oh no.
What?
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. It's not a lot of momentum. Okay, good.
Yeah,
All
the
right,
orb,
all right.
gave me the momentum.
Stop!
Oh.
Flapping those wings on your own. Do a flap on your way to the next
All right. That's the last time I support you.
I made it.
Yeah.
And kind of the nice thing about this, I didn't say this in the review, is
Pick it up.
it is kind of a nice farewell to these characters. Like you said, you brought up like Dax or whatever his name is. Seeing these old faces again is kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, and it looked like the twins are in it too, and so they were. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a deep dive though. I will say that. Like we've pretty much named most of the people in this game now.
Okay. Well, but they also, I mean, they did some of that in Saints Row 4 also. Remember that with they had those flashback sequences to like Saints Row 1 and stuff like that too. So
And then they had some nice cameos in that. You won't see any of those in this though. No Roddy Piper.
no Burt Reynolds.
No Burt Reynolds. Man, that was great casting.
That's a reason to pick the zombie voice in Saints Row 3, just to hear the zombie reaction to Burt Reynolds.
I'm
God.
not sure what happened. I'm holding the button.
I think you got the yips. You got the test chamber yips, and
I might.
You were sweating like you wouldn't believe.
The test chamber yips. I haven't heard that before.
God, this feels good.
Does it, Brian?
It feels wonderful.
Let's get you back to the old tour building. I want to run
There
through
we
all the
go.
stuff you can do to her.
So there's a good look at the city. It's
See you soon.
fairly common looking.
So is it all? But you said the sections look a little different. It's
Yeah,
not all,
yeah, you'll
It's
see.
not all fire and brimstone.
No, I mean, there is a lot of fire and brimstone, but you will see, the downtown district, the industrial district.
Yeah.
There's kind of like an outskirts, kind of the Badlands type of area. You got Blackbeard out there with like a pirate ship, which looks kind of cool. So this is pretty much the main game is activities and diversions.
Okay.
There you go.
Want to impress them.
There's Shakespeare.
Yeah, I saw that in your review that he's a DJ in hell, and that's. I don't know why that appeals to me so much.
It's a pretty good idea.
It seems like a fitting punishment for him.
If I was Shakespeare, I'd be pissed though. Hell, really?
Yeah, I don't know. Do they explain why they sent Shakespeare to hell?
So there's some orbs. You can see them everywhere, just little blue little blips. There's hundreds of them.
Just like in Saints Row 4.
Correct.
Except,
But they're more fun to get this time around. You're not like
not something ridiculous
bouncing up
like
buildings
100
most of the time.
well, so in Saints Row 4, they were like data clusters in the simulation.
These
They're
are
like
soul
Soul
clusters.
clusters. Okay. Very important distinction there.
Very, very different.
Yeah.
And if you see a red one, that can be split. It'll split into 5. So you'll grab one, and then you got to collect like 4 more.
So we should totally go steal a car now, right? Now that we can fly and super sprint.
If you steal a car, I'm taking that controller.
Get one of those garbage taxis. That
Let's
looks
get a
like fun.
taxi.
And there are achievements tied to some of the vehicles, though. So they do kind of force your hand if you're trying to be a completionist.
Just judging from the variety of cars on the road, though, it looks like they probably didn't put as much thought into vehicles for this one.
There's like 4 cars total.
They probably learned their lesson from Saints Row 4 when nobody drove a car at all.
Right. Well, you didn't need to.
Yeah. Why would you want to? Yeah.
What these things can do.
And I kind of miss, my favorite in the series is 3.
Yep.
I thought that was where they kind of peaked, and then going super powered, I don't think really kind of fit Saints Row. They did some fun stuff with it. That's not to belittle the effort made, but Shea, access your quest select.
One of the things that we said when that game came out, I remember, was that it felt so much more like a Crackdown game than a Saints Row game. This sort of keeps that tradition going more.
Yeah. It's, I would say it's more in the superhero genre than Crackdown. Yeah, you're collecting orbs. That's kind of the comparison point. Mm-hmm. But just in terms of your abilities and how you kind of play it, yeah, I would say it's, I guess, the weapon play is a little bit Crackdown-y.
Okay.
Okay, you don't need to read all this.
I was just seeing what the
pick one of these things.
The variety was.
Let's go do it. Let's go see Shakespeare. Go up top there.
Wait, select charge halo under allegiances.
Oh, does he actually have to do? Oh, yeah, he does.
It tells you what to do.
Oh.
There we go.
Let's collect
and this will take you on a tour of all
Stomp.
all the characters. They're going to give you your abilities.
That's cool.
Yeah, so the super speed's back, sprint. You can level it up. That's why you got to collect every orb you see.
Reiner, you mentioned in your review that there's a super awesome chair weapon. Can we find that? Do you know where that is?
It is kind of along that critical path. Okay. So I don't think we'll be able to get it. Brian, you got to do that activity right there.
Which activity?
That's Torment Fraud right there.
The purple head guy.
Before we go see Shakespeare, we got to do that. These are fun.
So pretty much all the activities you do end up feeding into your overall goal, right?
Correct. Yeah, you get experience points. Just like since Saints Row 2, 3, they've been doing this. So yeah, the DNA of the series is alive and strong in this game. This is a little chaotic now because you'll just start on fire and explode at random times. I really couldn't wrap my finger around it. But so it's a little easier than it used to be. We'll see how Brian does here.
Probably not good. I mean, based on how I've done so far.
Yeah, correct.
I mean,
the yips.
Set expectations low.
Yes.
While his wife Laura
Okay,
was
so
admitted into
You want to
hell,
ragdoll
the
when
Heavenly Father was
a vehicle
less
gets
forgiving
near.
toward Tobias,
Can
whose shirtless antics
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
There
so
we go.
There
Now
we
keep
go.
it going. Keep bouncing around, try to hit other cars. So you're racking up years instead of your hospital bill.
After all, while the removal of his signature
So the skin of it looks a little different, but this is basically the same thing as insurance.
It's exactly the same thing, yeah.
This reminds me of that game, Kitty Cannon. Anyone ever play that? Yeah, it's one of those web games. You shoot a kitty out of a cannon, and it has to bounce as far as it can.
Oh yeah, I did that with hit a polar bear or a seal with a polar bear holding a club. Yeah, you just bounced along.
That's
the
crossing
terrain.
the line.
Oh yeah. I can't believe Wade remembers the name of dumb web games that were popular.
that was
8 years
huge back in the day.
There you go.
That's a good
Yeah, keep it going.
Nice.
Oh.
So yeah, the explosions make it a lot easier, but also, I don't know, a little bit more fun, I guess. Silver.
This also is the first one, so it can't be too.
Right, I think you need 2 million or something in the last one, but I think I got over 2 million on one hit.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get those explosions going.
But it is fun, and as you can see from the visuals, we're playing it on Xbox One. They're not pushing the system to the limit. It is, there's frame rate issues that come up with,
Hey, Brian,
with flight.
render those the dots, the stars. Okay, sorry, Reiner. Frame rate issues.
Yeah, frame rate issues. Visual fidelity is very last gen. There's some frame rate right there. Not too bad, but
Whoa, you're really zipping around.
I'm not getting any points, but you are zipping. I like the music.
You want to go to those blue areas.
Every time I go to one, it changes.
Look on your map.
There. You might just get it just half-assing this here.
No, you're in the right area.
Okay.
There we go.
I just need a car. There we go.
That is one of the things I just love about the Saints Row universe in general is that, like, people are just terrible. Like, everyone is just a maniac.
There you go.
They just drive like psychopaths.
I do hate they cut it off. I wish they'd let you see how big your combo would get.
Yeah, I suppose.
That would be cool.
All right, so as you were saying, Joe, so you get money, and then also money buys weapons and upgrades to your weapons.
Okay.
No costume changes, stuff like that. No homies.
Really?
Nope. All that is scaled back, and then here, there you go. So you just get experience.
Oh man, that's kind of disappointing. I always liked the finding the right outfit and stuff.
And I just get hit by a car immediately.
One does not dress Johnny Gat.
I guess. I mean, I wouldn't want to put him in much else, I suppose.
All right, let's go see Shakespeare.
How many times does Johnny Gat say, "God, this feels good"? Because I think we're at 3 already.
I think I probably clocked in at about 54.
Yeah, that was a problem in Saints Row 4 also. There were a lot of repeated phrases when you did a super jump.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
no
don't
created
have any
characters, so no alternate audio track. What was it in 3? You had the zombie. 4 was Nolan North.
Yep.
Forgot about that.
I was actually, this is just a stupid little nitpick, but I was so mad because I loved in Saints Row the Third, I loved that sort of like Eastern European female voice. Sounded a little bit like Red from Orange is the New Black.
Huh.
You know? And,
Man, that's a good show.
And they took it out in Saints Row 4. Like that voice just wasn't there anymore. Felt really weird to me.
All right, here we go. Guess who?
Lights up. William Shakespeare, humanity's greatest playwright, and hell's most diabolical purveyor of entertainment, looks on as
He talks a lot, by the way.
on an Orphean quest enters.
Did you check a watch that he's not wearing?
Correct.
And he looks to test his
I think that's the
visitor's
insult, Wade.
mettle.
Oh, mic drop.
The masked tragedies were used to enemies
So this is
cowering as they
kind of a mission. You just got to kill.
Soon they realized
Get used to
that
this,
they
by the
faced
way.
a foe with courage and nobility.
Get used to just shooting demons. You should have other weapons, by the way. If you hold down B. There you go. Use your, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
Much better.
And up top for snipers, these guys are little bastards. Because they will, if you don't get them quick enough, they will teleport. Now he's behind you.
Thankfully, they take forever to line up a shot.
Like most snipers
Yeah.
in
Now he's behind
games.
you. I think you got a machine gun there, man.
It's very slow fire rate.
More video game snipers should not use laser guidance because like laser aiming, because that really just seems to give them away.
This guy is seriously making a mockery of your skills.
As are you.
I didn't outright say it. Yeah,
Well, I'm sure as are most of the viewers as well.
So you got some bat dudes. And there's some heavies, and that's pretty much the enemy selection in the game.
What is the guy on my map doing here?
He's right above
He's
you.
like right above you. So even though you do technically have limited ammo, Reiner, I assume it's not a resource management sort of thing. You pretty much get what you need.
No, actually, you probably want to... It's always in your best interest to visit vending machines before you do anything.
Oh, okay.
Especially, like, when you go against Satan, you're going to want to use the rocket launcher a lot.
Oh, okay.
But when you do get, as you're talking about the armchair weapon, if you level that up, that thing is lethal.
Okay.
So that guy's got a shield. You're going to have to lower that. Yeah, I would recommend cleaning out his minions first. Yeah, these guys are a pain in the butt, these shielded guys. But once you get stomped, all your powers will lower that shield, by the way.
So it's just basically just hard to shoot through.
Yeah, and it's just frustrating. It'll be like, okay, I got 6 guys. Oh, his shield's back up. I shouldn't go after him. So, some of your missions are, leveling up or accomplishing a number of things like headshots, stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, I think he just keeps summoning new dudes.
Yeah, you want to kill that guy.
There we go.
Headshots. There you go.
Resolved, Shakespeare eagerly awaited meeting the champion that dispatched so many of his men. Undoubtedly, they were here for the bard's aid. And while happy endings were not a thing found in hell,
You got the sniper rifle. Very
Shakespeare
nice.
always had a soft spot for companies.
I noticed the map seems a little finicky. Like even though you're strafing and I'm backpedaling, if you look at the yellow arrow that's your character, it kind of turns around even though you're still facing the one direction.
Weird.
I'm a big reliant on or relier of the map, so that was kind of throwing me off there on that scene.
Oh, there he sold his soul.
Okay.
Satan's spy master general. In doing his duty, Shakespeare would punish the souls he was investigating by forcing them to perform in grotesque passion plays for Satan's.
I hope this happens to me after I die.
We got to sell
You
your
become
soul.
People just rewrite who I was in horrible ways.
After Andrew Reiner sold his soul for fame and fortune at Game Informer.
In secret, he would tutor her on the classics and act out the works of his mortal days. When Satan found out, he cast Shakespeare out of the palace, believing that the poet would be tormented by the populace of hell, far out of Jezebel's sight. But Satan had not counted on the bard's cunning. Embracing his persona of master torturer, Shakespeare and his followers, the tragedies, took root in the entertainment district, biding their time for revenge.
All right.
Seems like Satan should be able to handle this, but whatever. Just let him be.
Yeah.
And so Shakespeare called forth the Deus Ex Machina to bestow our protagonist with the
So here you get
arcane
stomped.
power.
And now the game's over, basically. You're unstoppable with this thing. So go do your tutorial.
So how do we switch to Kinsey?
She's just at the tower. So whenever you go to Altor Tower, you just switch to her whenever you want. She shares the same pool of abilities and weapons. They're both the same. You just have different dialogue with her.
Okay, and so all your upgrades like carry over to her too?
Correct.
So
And there are moments in the game where the big cutscenes, they're together. Both characters are together.
Right, okay.
So it's not like you're missing anything if you don't play as Johnny or her.
Force stomp power on the group of demons in front of them.
And there you go. Stomp them.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, and it's a little disappointing. These powers are fun, but it's like they use these in VR. You know what I mean? And just being able to summon them in hell. I wish they would have had a little bit more variety than this. There's the little demons. You get to summon those guys, by the way. So jam on triangle, I think, to get them off. Or you could do that.
Okay.
This makes no sense. Yeah.
Before shooting them to death, the day is won.
There you go.
All right.
On our noble hero.
All right.
That's
Faring
it.
better now. You're getting into groove.
It's been a while.
Been a while. This is one of your favorites.
Yeah, but I haven't played it since it came out.
Okay. So we're back at Ultor. Go talk to Kinsey.
And you can just switch to her right now. Boom. There you go.
Don't mind if I do.
Seamless.
Yeah, why don't we just go outside, play as her for a bit? And I guess maybe we're off to Blackbeard. Yeah, Blackbeard's next.
So she can fly and everything.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, she's got everything.
Okay, but that awesome chair isn't something you can just pick up. You have to get it in like a mission or something.
Correct. It might be available. No, I think it's later because it is pretty overpowered. That makes sense that it would be later.
Okay.
But yeah, so there's one of the red ones I was talking about. So if you hit that, it tells you where the others are. It kind of points an arrow.
Oh boy.
And you have to get them before you hit the ground.
Ah.
But that just gives you like bonus clusters or whatever. Or orbs or whatever you want to end up calling them.
Pretty low on stamina here. I should probably just...
Oh yeah.
and collectibles.
Talk to
I don't
pawn
like going
shop.
into a pawn shop in Steelport, let alone hell.
Talk to pawn
So there's
shop?
commentary you can
Yep,
collect.
there's
as well.
commentary for the characters. There's you'll find like Blackbeard's diary, stuff like that. There are chests that you can open up. Unfortunately, the stuff that's inside the chest, you got to find like these hidden symbols to open them up. What's inside kind of sucks. I thought it'd be something awesome, but it's just like experience and stuff like that.
Because when I talked to you when you like first started playing, you hadn't found any of the symbols yet.
Nope.
It's not.
There, it's easier than you'd think. It alerts you on screen, and as soon as you see that alert, and once you get your wings powered up, you're flying around. You're going to see these alerts pop up in every zone you go into.
Okay.
But once it comes up that you're near a symbol, stop and just look around because it is like within eyesight. Like it's within like feet of you.
Okay.
Here we go. And you'll actually see one of the chests is on Blackbeard's ship in the front of it. And there's an achievement if you go all the way up on top of that mast there. You'll get a 10-point achievement or something like that.
Or a trophy, because we're
Or a trophy, sorry.
if you're playing on PS4.
I don't know anybody that does that. Kidding. Someone probably left an angry comment by now. All right.
Oh.
You're not getting up there right now.
So I'm noticing a lot of like the kind of the over-the-top melee takedowns are the exact same animations as
Correct.
Saints Row 4.
I think there are a couple of new ones, but yeah, most of it is carryover. Selection of weapons, there's the dubstep gun, stuff like that again.
Oh, okay.
But pretty standard fare until you get your recliner.
Abandoned ship, we've been boarded.
And we won't show off any more of this here. We'll let you guys play. So there are 4 of these missions, and then you complete loyalty missions, which is just a checklist of doing the activities and, survival, mayhem, tank mayhem, fraud. There's a new one where you're taking on frat boys. You're hitting them with a spiked club, launching them into the air, into goals, which is kind of fun. But most of it is very familiar if you have played Saints Row 4. I thought it was okay in the end. In terms of lore, let's bring that up again. I like it. I like where the series ends off. But in terms of a new Saints Row experience, you're not really getting much outside of the flight and seeing a cool location like Hell or New Hades, as they call it. So thanks, Brian. That was a rocky start, but I think we ended on a nice note. And thanks, Joe, for your knowledge base of Saints Row's lore.
Yeah, I'm the Saints Row lore master.
And we'll see you all again. And thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you all again in another test chamber.